Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review, Star Trek Discovery, Season 1, Episode 12, Vaulting Ambitions, and it's Lorca. Holy crap. What an episode of Star Trek Discovery. Another great one, especially in this back half episodes. The last two episodes were probably two of my favorite episodes of Discovery so far. This was, wouldn't say I loved it as much as I loved the previous two episodes, but this continued in line of the feel that I wanted to feel from this show. I love the reveal that we got. I guess spoiler warning if you've never seen Star Trek Discovery and you don't want to be spoiled about the events that happened in the episode tonight. But this confirmed a lot of people's speculation about Lorca, and they littered it from the very beginning of him being introduced. This completed a lot of stuff and made, for me anyways, even the pilot a little bit more worthy because of getting to see the parallels between Captain Georgina and Sasha and Michael Burnham, and seeing those balance, and then seeing it with the Emperor and Michael Burnham now, and seeing how the relationships that we saw get built at the beginning half of the season pay off here again. I love what this show is doing. I love the rhythm that it's in. I like how it's using the Bizarro universe in a way that hasn't been used exactly before. It's one of my favorite ways it has been used. I definitely like a lot of Deep Space Nine episode versions of the Mirror Universe too, but this, I'm just loving all of this. Saru, I especially enjoyed the Saru aspect of this episode too. Him and his decisions on how to handle the Tyler thing, I thought were really freaking cool, and we'll explore that a little bit, explore what it looks like with possibly him as captain moving on after this point with the Lorca reveal. And I also, the Klingon stuff did not bother me quite as much, and I've said it before, but I had a minor revelation in the Klingon thing. I don't hate the design. I don't hate the way they talk. I just hate that they're Klingon. If they were some other random Star Trek creatures, I wouldn't be as affected by it, but I get snuffle all up in my uppagus because of the fact that I have in my mind what I think a fucking Klingon is. But I'm not alone. I am not alone. I see out of the side of my corner fucking butthole the motherfucking live motherfucking chat. Holy motherfucking shit. We got Brooke Blackman. We got Devin from Atheism Unstoppable in the live fucking chat. We got The Walking David, who will be with us this Thursday night to talk about Back to the Future 2. We got K Rich, we got Mike, we got Tim F, we got Iron Throne. We got lots of good fucking friends. Lots of love to Devin over there in Australia. Lots of love to all of our friends in the live motherfucking chat. Really, I fucking can't enjoying the actor that plays Lorca so much, Jason Isaacs. It got explained to me, because I'm kind of dumb and I don't always pick up things. I'm not quick on the uptake. That is Malfoy from the Harry Potter movies, and he's fucking awesome. And I love this reveal. Basically, what has happened is, if you haven't seen the episode of Discovery and you don't want to be spoiled to the whole thing, now is the time you may want to go away. I know you might want to hear my stupid, silly butthole asshole. Butthole asshole. That's a lot of holes. There's a lot of fucking holes in Salem tonight. But if you don't want to be spoiled, I'd walk away right fucking now. Lorca is not real Lorca. I don't know what happened to real Lorca. This is Mirror Universe Lorca that came back through with a war with the Emperor on some sort of uprising. Michael Burnham, the Michael Burnham Bizarro, Michael Burnham was killed somehow, and he came back, and he's the one that somehow took over the Discovery, and at some point in the line, and then got Burnham out of prison to somehow feed into whatever his plan was to get back to the Mirror Universe. Ha! Good fucking stuff. Live motherfucking chat. Klingons, I thought those were orcs. Yeah, and that's the thing. If these were orcs, if these were Jem'Hadar, I mean, not Jem'Hadar, that's a different story altogether. If they were some other fucking thing, but the geekitude inside my bumhole forces me to be like, hey. Those aren't my Klingons. My Klingon looks like that motherfucker. That's why that's my Klingon. The big goofy looking motherfucker in the back right there. Let's jump in the live. Still basking in the pleasure of my successful tinfoil hat prediction. Yes, K Rich predicted this Lorca thing. Was the first person I saw in the chat starting to talk about, is this not real fucking Lorca? It's I have watched the show. I haven't watched the show, so I don't belong here. But I had to come by and give Phil some fucking love since The Walking David. And again, I see Devin stopped on in. Big fucking hug to Devin. Hope all is well, buddy. And Lorca's the master of the long con. I definitely love this. He's the best long conner since Sawyer from Lost. But this was it's hard to say that this was an excellent episode. This episode's end really kicked ass. The beginning part of the episode had its moments. It dragged in a couple sections for me that are stuff not that I don't care about, but I thought was maybe a little heavy-handed, but I definitely like some of the parallels that they set up from performance standpoint. The show tends to care more about the plot than it does about the characters at times, but this episode spent some time with character stuff. I like what we're learning about Saru. I liked his interaction with the Klingon bitch. Like, seeing the two of them go back and forth and have their action, fuck you, and him going back and one-upping her and being like, you think you're a bitch? I'm a fucking bigger bitch. And what he did with Tyler in that situation, I love that he went there. When if I took a shit on your fucking living room floor and you got your fucking you and your friends grabbed me and threw me in a closet and I was like, fuck you, I'm not apologizing, I'm not cleaning up that shit, fuck all of you I shit there because so fucking what are you gonna do? Lock me in this fucking closet? I'll stay in the fucking closet. Okay, I'll shit again in this fucking I don't give a fuck. What the fuck? You let me out of here, I'm gonna shit on your kitchen too, bitch. What the fuck? And then they get some tongs up and they take the shit and they put the shit in the closet with you, and then you have to stay in there and fucking smell your own fucking feces all around you. That's basically what Saru did to the Klingon Queen. I fucking love that decision, and I like seeing that step. And I also love on Star Trek when we don't just see Federation people or Terrans talking, when we actually have two alien forces. What happened a lot more in Deep Space Nine, like when Quark and Garrick talked, or Odo or whatever. So I like seeing scenes like that in this episode. Whoa, my beer is sticking to my plate. Like, there's all sorts of shit wrong with this. I'm like, anyone who likes me, that's like, now's the time. Yeah, please subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel as I'm sipping a beer with a plate through a straw with a fucking celebrate good times plate stuck on the bottom of it. Mm-hmm. I've been reduced to this. Fuck. So, long con sounds sexy. So what's the prognosis? Is Isaacs gone for season 2? Do we get a good Lorca? That is a good point, or good question. I wonder, we speculated a lot last week that Lorca was endgame villain kind of thing. I don't see the Lorca aspect of this being neatly wrapped up in the next, what do we got, 4 episodes left before the season break? It's hard for me to imagine him not coming back next season in some form. Whether it's that we meet the real person, that Prime Universe Lorca is trapped somewhere imprisoned or something. We don't know what happened to him. So that is one way of popping it up. You could do the Harrison Wells thing, where you just have a different one pop up from every fucking universe they want. There's a little people that know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. People that don't, like, Harrison fucking Wells, who the fuck are you talking about? He's not on Star Trek. He should be. But so they could do something like that, where they just have a different version of the same actor to keep the actors part of the cast. I think that this season, in these next 4 episodes, things are going to get worse before they get better, so to speak. This is going to be ramped up even more as things go on. I think my prognosis is, yes, Lorca is in season 2. And how far that goes, or if they need to combine to fight a greater enemy of some sort, I don't know how it's all going to work, but it's hard for me to imagine that they'd give up on that. Or maybe that's wishful television thinking too, that I like that character so much, and whenever he's on screen, how he's laughing at the guy, like, yeah, the girl, yeah, I got sick of her, I moved on to another girl. Like, he just plays slimy and schwarmy and fucking prick evil better than anybody on this fucking earth. He did it well in fucking Harry Potter, and he's and he's doing a different kind of evil here, the long con sly evil, and that's one of my favorite things to see played on television or in a movie, more so in television because you can see it coming from a long way. And I like when a show litters it well, when they leave the crumbs for Goldie Dick to come and find me and fuck me, like when they find those crumbs and you can kind of follow them into that place and get to that Star Trek land and have sex. No, and get to that place and be rewarded at the end of it. Similar happened again to go to Deep Space Nine, because I can't not mention that fucking show. Just shut the fuck up. Or with the Julian thing, where Julian ends up being a shapeshifter for a long time, for a few episode arc, and then you go back and go, wait, was that? Oh, that wasn't really Julian, and you can kind of see. And I even think this littered things better because now you go back into the whole thing with everything with the light and him being having issues with dark like he's a gremlin or something like that with the diet or with sunlight or having like we're having to wear sunglasses and having an avergence to light. And it was only 37 minutes. That's another thing. I like that. At first I was thinking, okay, it was 37 minutes. This episode went by really, really quick. What was wrong with it? Or not what was wrong with it. It seemed like when it ended, my first thought was like, oh shit, that was quick. That flew by. What was wrong with that? Was it me? And then you said that in a comment section in our Discord group that it was only 37 minutes. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense now. I looked at the clock. And what's cool about that, what I like about the ability to do that is I don't like a show if I felt like it was padded out because of commercials or they were subtracting from parts of the show because they didn't necessarily know what to do. They had a story to tell in this particular episode, and that took, after the editing was all done, 37 fucking minutes. So that's what they issued to the issued out there, and that's fine to me. It didn't feel short. It felt like it ended sooner than I wanted it to end, and I had people like, wait, that means it ended short, you stupid fuck. Don't be, you hypocritical asshole. No, it left on a point where I wanted more, not that I felt like I didn't get enough. I don't know if that makes sense at all. So I appreciate where it ended off. I don't think they could have gone on and had another moment with Lorca. They needed to end on that reveal, and I thought it was the most powerful it possibly could have been. This show is still on an app right now. I hope that one day they'll, before season 2, CBS will go, okay, and now on CBS, one time only, we're going to play all 15 episodes. Blah, 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 blah. Anytime they spend too much time in the mental space having shrinkgasms causes a drift. Yeah, exactly. That was the part that got a little draggy for me. Don't invite me over to your house, Red Walrus. I might shit on your floor. Vikings is amazing, Alex. Great to see you. Mike says, same here. I've been here for the Sopranos, Phil's recaps and reviews, the Real Housewives of Atlanta live reviews. Whenever I fucking decide I want a podcast about beer sippage, I'm sipping the fucking beer. Lorca created the orcs like David with the xenomorphs. So many Lorcas, so little time. What if someone has a twin? Then there's two of two in universes. What is the bizarro twin, the mirror universe Olsen twin thing going on? That's one disgusting foursome. Holy fucking shit. Phil, the word is that he's dead. The lone survivor was far-fetched to begin with. I hope they're wrong. I hope they're wrong. Me too. My girlfriend has a twin, so that'd be 4 chicks. Sign me up. If Lorca's says Michael, if Lorca's the enemy or something, someone else, the corruption possibly. Hey, Uncle D, had to stop in and say, hey, I'm still 2 episodes behind. I think you're going to enjoy those 2 episodes when you finally get to watch them, Uncle D. Thank you for popping on in. Alex asks, is there anything that you can do about that sound? Both YouTube and laptop are at the max, but the sound is still not. Am I too quiet right now? Let me see if I can turn up my volume a little bit. Let's see if am I louder now? Wow. And most times people want me to shut up, so I appreciate you wanting me to get a little bit loud. I turned up the volume a little bit. Please let me know in the live motherfucking chat if I am feedbacky at all, or if that works a little bit better, buddy. 1 boyfriend, 4 girlfriends. Get Schwiffy over there. 1 can do a free trial during a free weekend. Both YouTube and the laptop maxes. Cool. Hopefully this is a little bit better. I also have to speak into the microphone a little bit better. This microphone's really good. This is a newer microphone I have, but the problem is, and I guess this is a good thing, if I move it away from my face, it gets really quiet really quick. So I need to make sure I speak right into it. Awesome. As long as it's not feedbacky, I can pump it up. I can pump up the volume. I tend to err on the side of quiet because there's one, I'm annoying enough, but if you add my annoying voice loud and feedback, it's like that extra twinge of your nipple when someone punches you in the balls. It's like a double fist fuck. It's not very good. So I do appreciate that. But do you know what I do appreciate? Sorry, Betty, give me 1 second. I do appreciate that it's time for the fucking would you fucking play the music, you dumb asshole? Time for the recap. Yes, feedback plus headphones equals pain in my mind. And I want to say at least a couple of times I put people through that kind of nonsense. So I apologize 1,000 times. Fuck 1,000 times apologies, you motherfucker. I did. My mommy was calling me from the show. Philip, could you take out the trash before you finish your podcast? And I said, okay, mommy. And I had to run out of the room for a second. So here is our quick recap on what happened in this week's episode of Star Trek Discovery. So a transport departs as the Shinzon brings Burnham and Lorca to the Emperor's ship. Saru managed to decrypt the information on the USS Defiant. Most of it is redacted, but there are some data available on how the Defiant got to the Mirror Universe. Technobabble. Lorca believes more information will be available at the palace, where they're all going to head. And I got to admit... As much as everybody in the live chat, or a couple people, K-Rich said this, and a couple people sent me I got a message about it, got a text about it, and I want to say someone left it in the comment section too, the speculation that Lorca was a mirror universe version of himself. I got to admit, it actually surprised me. I didn't see it coming. I knew he probably had some sort of plan or another agenda going on here, but they got me. And as I said, sometimes I take candy from strangers without even thinking about it. You have candy, give me candy good. Phil, hippie, hungry. I'll take some candy, give it to me. You want to give me a sandwich? I'm gonna eat your fucking sandwich. You know, I'm a trusting individual sometimes, and it gets me into a lot of trouble, and it gets me in some bad situations. But I didn't exactly see this coming, and I thought the reveal was really well done. And I didn't go, oh, Lorca wants to be here a little too much. There wasn't anything. I didn't get any. There were no television wedding bells dinging in my head. No podcaster's intuition kicking in here. I was dumb. Jean-Luc Lorca. That's my theory. I've never seen his show before. There are 4 lights. Sorry, or there are 3 lights. Whatever. I always mess that up. Okay, so Lorca believes that more information will be available at the palace, where they're heading to go to meet Cinderella and dance. Burnham gives Lorca something to numb his nerves to deal with his torture in the pit of despair. And Burnham is worried about facing off against her old captain. And I also love, what the fuck, was there a Spaceballs line in this movie? I'm blanking on it. I didn't write down the line because I'm an asshole, but I'm pretty sure Lorca at one point in time in the episode quoted Spaceballs, he quoted History of the World Part 2 when he's being probed about the girl he tortured or something like that. I didn't quite get word for word what was going on there because my CBS All Access was a little patooby-tooed, was screwing up a little bit. And he said something like, yeah, she came to you, because you were the captain. And he stops and goes, it's good to be the captain, and smiles at him in that Mel Brooksian sort of way. I'm like, oh shit, did he just say that? Did he just say it's good to be the king? My fuck, that was awesome. Lorca's the guy who brings the cake to the party so he can steal The big silver knife he used to cut it. Exactly. He's the guy that goes into bathrooms that have like big. I'm like, what the fuck am I trying? Goes to a bathroom and there's a big tub. You know where they have stuff to take you to a wedding or something? They have those bathrooms where they have all the little treats and shit, and just opens your bag and like pours them in your pocket and takes it with you. Or they have a cigar bar and you just steal all the cigars and throw them in. I'm just quoting things I do myself because I'm that type of asshole. Sorry, I'm trying to relate to you, Lorca. I'm humanizing you, you asshole. What an asshole. The Lorca mystery continues. Give him some weed. Give me some weed. I mean sandwiches. I mean, fuck it. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the people that are tuning in tonight to check this out. Or anyone who's checking this recap out later. Please share your thoughts on Star Trek Discovery as of right now. Love to hear what you guys are thinking of the show, both good and bad. Leave it in the comment section. And thank you to all of our folks that are joining us live right now to talk about this stuff. So here we go. So we go over to Lorca, to something numbers nerves. So on to Discovery. Tilly and Saru discuss Stamets' situation. His skin looks better, but he's still in his coma. Tilly believes she just needs to let whatever is happening in Stamets' head. It needs to continue. Similar to they got to go inside Sloane's head in the season 7. But there was something, this whole in Stamets' mind section, there was something very Nexus-y about it at times. And I don't know if whoever wrote this script was watching Star Trek Generations, but a couple of times in this situation, I felt very Star Trek Generations-y about, I have to come out of the Nexus. I can't come out of the Nexus. I can't come out of the Nexus. I would come out of the Nexus. So Saru's concerned about what's happening. Whatever's happening isn't happening fast enough. If Burnham and Lorca can't figure out where the Defiant is or where the Defiant information is, then the Spore Drive is their only way home. Saru is summoned to the sick bay and leaves Tilly to fix Stamets. So we go inside the network. Excuse me. We go inside the network, where we get to see Stamets having a conversation with Stamets. How do I say this? I found these scenes not as compelling as they should have been for me. I guess this is my new thing. This isn't as compelling as it should have been. It's not that it was bad. I can imagine, having played with this a very little bit just in video, I can imagine acting with yourself isn't the easiest thing to do. And sometimes some actors that do it better than others do by shifting their tone and their voice a little bit or something. The costumes are so distinct that it can throw you off enough. There was something different going on the outfit that each one was wearing, but there was a little bit too much of a similarity to the cadence in which they were speaking and the way in which they looked. So I had a little bit of a problem just feeling separation between the two characters and feeling and understanding the differences between these two characters and that they were different people. It came off to me a little bit more, and I know it's in a dream sequence, and I thought the editing of it was done pretty well. It quick edited a little bit like, I'm just on a Deep Space Nine roll tonight, a little bit like the wormhole alien talk at times, where it was like quick edits on top of each other, like your mind talking to yourself. But these are actually two different beings, even though they're the same, two different beings, or the same being two times in two different universes. You know what I mean? You know what I fucking mean? So I didn't feel like they were necessarily two people talking. I think it was, maybe they could have, this is so fucking minor. This is so fucking nitpicky. Maybe they could have adjusted one of the Stamets voices, like up a half step or something, just to give it a little bit of a different tone, because when they're having the conversations back and forth, to me it didn't sound like two different people having a conversation or two different of the same people. That's such an asshole complaint, but I don't know, I noticed it. It was a little goofy to me. No, or a little hard to keep track of. And I fucking love Lorca's Ray's father. I love Red Dwarf. Great show. So inside the network, they're transported. They're transported to recreation of the USS Discovery. Stamets explains that they ended up here after an experiment went wrong, where he was searching for unlimited power, and it all went wrong. His physical body's also in a coma. He's been trying to reach the contact Prime Stamets, which he wants to manipulate so he can get more power, which is Prime Stamets has been seeing flashes of the mirror universe. Mayor Stamets wants Prime Stamets to navigate them out. Something is corrupted in the network, and Mayor Stamets got swept up in it before he was lost for days. They escape to engineering, where Stamets believes he can give them a way out. So I don't know. Like I said, you see this a lot in a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, with two characters talking to each other, and sometimes it's more effective than other times. I think Jonathan Frakes did it really well with Riker and Thomas Riker. There was just some different cadence to the way he talked that worked, and I think one of the best people in the universe ever to do it is Brent Spiner. We've seen this done in many different kinds of times in Trek, and obviously with Kirk and Spock in the original Mirror Universe people, or in Enterprise, or in Deep Space Nine. Anytime we've done that, we've seen maybe two characters interact. I can't go a week without talking about Kira and Mirror Universe Kira. What's her the Intendant? Sorry, I had to let the cat out, and he didn't even go out. What a fucking asshole! And 1 second while I play some music while I let my cat out. So, and again, it's a tough thing to do. It's not, I mean, you're either acting against a green screen thing or someone else is reading your lines so you can read it, associate it. It's not the easiest thing to do, and I'm an asshole for pointing it out. It bothered me a little bit, and I thought it could have been done a little bit better. Anyways. So, on to the palace ship. Burnham and Lorca are brought before the Emperor in the Great Hall, and he said, "Kneel before Zod." No. The Emperor offers some slaves to Burnham. She hesitates and chooses Saru, and she goes, "You should know who to pick." And right away, we get the feeling that the Emperor does not believe for a second who Burnham is. And I like that. I like that everyone else is sort of is dim-witted as a dimma. But Giorgio isn't. She picks it out. She was raised this fucking person. She understands it right from go that you're not who you say you are. She's also read as we find out later, she's read the Defiant ship log stuff, so she knows about the existence of this universe as well. So it's not too much of a leap for the synapses to all connect in her fucking positronic matrix and depict an actual constituted answer to the equation. Sorry, talking about Star Trek makes me want to attempt my own horrible technobabble. I know I could play an asshole or a derelict in a movie or a television show, but I don't think I could ever be on Star Trek. I don't think I could pull off the technobabble. It wouldn't sound right. Hearing me say, like, dude, it's the who's to watch the schnickepulk that shoves up my doozy doorful, Scotty. Oh, you feel? I'm giving her all. She's good. The Defiant Files. That could be the name of my new band. Coming to you from the maker of Danny and the Dragons comes a new record called The Defiant Files. From Captain Sisko all the way to Lorca, trying to figure out how the fuck get back from the Mirror Universe. It's happening now. The Defiant Files, coming to you this holiday year for all Star Trek fans. Give your pre-orders now. PayPal, Phil the Issues Guy. Sorry about that. So, I love the live motherfucking chat more than anything. So, Burnham and Lorca are brought before the Emperor in the Great Hall, and she tells us, your silly Jedi toys won't work. So she hesitates and chooses Saru. Lorca's brought before Giorgio. He remains defiant and refuses to bow. Giorgio strikes him down and promises once he will kneel before Zod. Excuse me. But he'll live a long life and live it in the agonizer booth in the pit of despair and get tortured by by Johnny Winter. So he gets taken to the brig. So Giorgio says she's glad that Burnham did not die. She promises Burnham everything will be as it was and refers to her a few times as daughter. And Burnham looks at her and says, don't call me daughter. They can't all be winners, everybody. So then we go to Tyler, who is speaking Klingonese, cursing at humans and threatening to kill her. You know the whole Klingon thing. Today is a good day to die, human. I will kill you. You know all that shit. Thank you, Mr. Worf. Thank you, Mr. Worf, for chiming in on the show. Go back to fucking gargoyles, Worf. Fucking asshole. So, fucking Worf. So the doctor, he's speaking Klingonese, cursing at the humans, threatening to kill everybody. The doctors don't know how to treat a Klingon. Damn it! Damn it, Saru! I'm a human doctor, not a Klingon doctor. How do you expect me to treat this idiot? And Saru says, well, maybe we can wish him better or some shit like that. And he begins screaming again. He whispers Saru close, is Burnham okay? And Saru says, yeah, Burnham's okay. And then he goes back to screaming again. You motherfucker, I'm gonna kill every last one of you motherfuckers. The iridium receptors have molecular fractures, Captain, and I can't replace them in sort of space stock. Oi! The Olivia Restas. Oi, Johnny. On my old podcast, I somehow, some reason, did a Scotty voice, but called my engineer Miles O'Brien because it wasn't visual, so it was all blank. So I was just like, oui, I am the French Hulk. Oh, hi everybody, this is Phil. Oh, Phil, this is Miles Edward O'Brien, your engineer. You want me to play the fucking music? Play the music, asshole. Play it. Not that song, you dumb fuck. Stupid shit like that. Nothing very good, but that. Thank goodness. I don't know what thank goodness is shit, but thank goodness for strawberry shortcake because I'm hungry. That was some good technobabble. Remember that they made a movie of Star Trek saving whales? I think it's called Star Trek: The Undiscovered Oprah. No, Mike Burchell. Here we go. I think it's called Star Trek: The Undiscovered Oprah. There you go, Mike. There you go. You needed one of those for that one. That was good. So I trust me, my whole show could be every other line on this show for me. This podcast could sound like this. And then I walked over here, and then I hit over there. Fucking assholes. Oh my goodness. So Tyler's speaking Klingon. Tyler's personality reemerges for a moment, and he asks Saru to help him, but then he begins screaming again. Then we see Lorca placed in an agonizer booth, which does not look like a lot of fun at all. So we see Giorgio and Burnham dine with these fucking disgusting. What the fuck are they? Ugh, gross. Looks like the shit that Khan put in Chekhov's ear in Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan. They're eating right there. It's fucking disgusting. Giorgio wants to know why Burnham left and why she was so hesitant to attack the rebel base on Hoth. Burnham concocts a story about Lorca having spies on board the ship, and Giorgio believes Burnham was conspiring with Lorca to overthrow her. Giorgio calls for the guards to bring Burnham to the throne room for a prompt execution. And then it happens again. Wait a minute. Stop the execute. Oh, we're not to that point yet. So Stamets try to, sounds like a really fucking, sounds like a law firm. The law firm of Stamets. Fungus cases only. You have a fungus case, someone steals those magic mushrooms from you, someone punches you with a portobello, I don't know any other kinds of mushrooms. I literally know 2 kinds of mushrooms. Shiitake mushroom, is that a fucking mushroom too? I'm like, I know 2. I know portobello and psilocybin. Are those the only 2 kind of mushrooms? I'm pretty sure I have on good evidence here. We learn something every night here on the Issues program. And tonight we have learned that there are only 2 kinds of mushrooms in the world. Psilocybin and portobello. That's it. If I don't want, never before have we entered a case so pathetically unneeded. Never has a podcaster seemed this dumb. But today, we're going to explore the wonderful world of mushrooms. Beyond psilocybin in Portobello, do mushrooms even count? Shiitake, asshole. Bukkake mushroom. Don't forget the bukkake mushroom, says Mike. So Stamets in the Mushroom Network have a way to map out, or they try to figure out a way to map out the network. Prime Stamets finds something affecting Mirror Stamets' arm. It's a side effect from being in the network too long. It looks like flesh-eating disease or some weird sort of shit going on with his arm. Stamets also catches a glimpse of Dr. Culber, and he follows him. And this is where it gets kind of nexus-y. I keep blanking on the word nexus for some reason. I wonder why I'm trying to block out the nexus. So Mirror Stamets warns him that he'll get lost if he doesn't stay here and focus on riding a horse with Jean-Luc Picard or something. So Giorgio loves Burnham, and she says she will grant her the mercy of a quick death. She's probably the only person in the universe that she'd ever give a quick death to. So, I love you so much. Here's your quick death. Quick death. Thank you. Thank you for the quick death. Why don't you just not kill me? So Burnham tells Giorgio, listen, wait a minute. Stop the execution. What is it this time, Alistair? Stop the execution. She says, I'm not who you think I am. Wait, I'm not who you think I am. I'm the other Michelle Burnham, Michael Burnham. I'm not the Michael Burnham you knew. I'm the Michael Burnham from the Prime universe. Check out this dog tack. Do a quantum Suzy Hooji Baba on it, and you'll figure out that it's from my universe, and I'm not who I say I am. I quantum leaped over here from some strange reason. And she checks it out. She takes this quantum signature and she sees it. And then they do a cool little action piece move where she throws out a ninja star batarang thing, like uses some sort of Batman weapon and kills all her people that are around surrounding, except for one guy, and goes, "You didn't see anything, right?" And the guy's like, "I didn't see shit. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm cool. You're cool. You're cool." And walks out of there. And the Emperor knows about the Federation and knows about all of this. Then we see Saru visiting L'Rell in the brig. He tells L'Rell that Tyler thinks he's a Klingon. Well, he is a fucking Klingon. Saru asks for help, but she says there's no help. Saru says, listen, tells her about the parallel universe and that the war is over. L'Rell says that the real Ash Taylor was captured at the Battle of the Binary Stars, and they've harvested Tyler's DNA and grafted it onto Vok. And Saru tries to appeal to her and say, well, if you cared about this person, why do you want to make them suffer? Yada, yada, yada. And this is one of those moments where I wish they looked like real Klingons, because I thought this was an effective scene in what she was saying, but I wasn't embracing it as much as I wanted to, because I still don't accept these creatures as Klingons. I accept them as some weird other. In my mind, I still want to believe that we're going to find out some genetic nonsense had happened, and these are one subsect of a bigger Klingon empire or something. But whatever. There's my Star Trek geekitude. If a little bit pops in here and there, it's okay. It's not hindering my enjoyment of the show. But I'm not, just because I like this show doesn't mean I like the way I like the way they look at all, and I wish they didn't look the other way with some of the material that they're giving Klingons. But she schools him on Klingons. No, he's gonna have a warrior's death, and if he's gonna suffer for the benefit of the Klingon Empire, so fucking be it. So Phil, who will kill who in the Mirror Universe? I think Michael will join forces with Emperor Giorgio against Lorca, thus far getting closer to Giorgio. But who will die? Emperor Giorgio will die. And maybe Lorca will take over as Emperor or leader of that particular force in the Mirror Universe somehow. Somehow he'll just take over that force, or the Terran forces over in the Mirror Universe, after killing Giorgio and using Michael Burnham in some weird way to get it done. I think Lorca wins this season, is my speculation. However it pans out, and I'm not quite there yet. I'm starting to think I see the end result. I think Lorca wins. And whatever gets carried through is how to recover from the situation he sets up. It seemingly saw him go back in the preview for next week to go kill. He still has to kill that Starfleet person. He's got a lot of business to do. And I'm gonna be very curious to see how he pans this out. I don't think Michael Burnham dies, and I don't think Michelle Yeoh is gonna be on the show long term. So I probably see her character dying, if anything. I love the Emperor classified information process, kill everyone in the room. I love that too. Klingorks, Phil. That's what they like to be called. Very true, Michael. Do I think they'll go back? Do I think they'll go back or forward in time? Back. If there's time travel in the show, I think back in time. It would be harder to go forward in time in the Star Trek universe like this. Back would be easier, I would assume. Where do they find new people in the Terran Empire? They've killed so many of their own soldiers. Good fucking question. And how soon does this turn into the same world that exists in the original series? I mean, we did see Sarek with the beard a couple of episodes ago to hint that that Spock is out there. Future Emperor Spock is out there somewhere. So to finish off this episode, we see Stamets in Culber through the halls of Discovery. He winds up in the quarters. Culber tells Stamets that he died. Giorgio can't see any reason to help Burnham and the Discovery to get back. Burnham knows Giorgio loves her and loved her Burnham. Giorgio believes that the ideas that the Federation represents are dangerous and must be stiffed out. Giorgio says they can't get back through the interphasic space because it drive the crew insane. It drove the Discovery crew not Discovery, the fucking Defiant crew insane. And Giorgio goes, "How did you get over here?" And it's a little game that they play back and forth with. What do you know? What do I know? And it eventually just comes out that they use some other technology, and Giorgio uses this as to her advantage, which I like that she kind of jumped on this in this moment and said, "Why don't we trade? I'll trade you the information that I have for the information to the schematics of your engines." And quickly, Burnham agrees to this after Giorgio being like, "Well, you trusted the other one. Why wouldn't you trust me?" This is dumb idiocracy 101 dealing with Mirror Universe people. I was saying to Stephanie, if Mirror Stephanie came here, well, first thing, I'd have sex with her. If Mirror Stephanie came here and tried to convince me some shit, like this, that, and another thing, I wouldn't trust and be like, "Listen, I'm just like regular Stephanie." Or if Mirror Joe showed up, he'd be like the nicest guy in the world. He'd love everything. He'd be like, "I love everything. Isn't this show awesome?" That'd be really crazy to do a podcast with Mirror Joe. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I would not trust a mirror version of myself. I'd kill that shady prick. I know what I'm up. I know exactly what I'm up to. Wait, I was gonna say I don't know what I'm up to. What's up, folks? That's all, folks. I think it would be good if they get stranded forward in time, thus fixing some of the problems with the hardcore fans. Interesting point, Alex. It would be ballsy for them to go forward. It would be. The Empire saves a shit ton of money on military pensions. On the earlier episodes, magic to make the sanest man go mad. Yep. So many good littering of what got paid off at the end of this episode. That's where Discovery is seeming even more, where it's recanonizing past episodes by doing something great further on that makes older episodes better. And I think that's what this episode did. And it shows that they had more of a plan, or that they already saw a few things going through, and it's just a matter of time of getting there. And I think you can say that about Next Generation and Deep Space Nine specifically, about how the way they started out and the way that they eventually blossomed. Mirror Joe loves Westworld. It's his favorite show. Do a live show with Mirror Joe and Mirror Phil. We should probably do that. Where Bizarro Joe, where Joe does his best opposite him, and I'm just, "Hi, everybody. This is the Phil show. I don't have any issues. I'm just quiet. Yeah. It's the podcast. I don't know what. So Giorgio believes that the ideas of the Federation are dangerous. They're real dangerous. Yeah. Giorgio says Oh, sorry. Giorgio says she needs to get back through the intergalactic planetary who's it, what's it, and do something. I don't know. See, no one wants to see that. That's Bizarro Phil. That dude sucks. Fuck that dude. I'm gonna stick my fist up that dude's ass and make him fucking talk. Hey, dude. Fucking Bizarro Phil. That's fucking ketamine up Phil. I don't know what the fuck that is. Shit. That's fucking horrible. I don't know how long I don't know how long I could do that though. That should be on the wheel. Be quiet, Phil, for how long you could do it. I don't even think I could do it for 5 minutes. Yeah. So okay. The bizarre. Yeah, I have a shaved head and I talk like that. It would be horrible. So our next scene is Saru shows L'Rell what Tyler did after breaking free of his restraints. They probably let him out of his restraints. Looks like Charlize Theron in The Devil's Advocate with all the fucking scratches all over his body, clawed up his own chest. L'Rell still refuses to help, and Saru says, well, you shit on my floor. I'm going to put it in your room. And Saru beams Tyler into L'Rell's cell. And, hey, that rhymes. And she says she can undo it, but only by her own hands. Oh, convenient. Then we see a Terran officer tell Lorca that all his loyalists were rounded up. He threatens to kill Lorca because his sister died. He threatens to kill one of Lorca's loyal men. Lorca doesn't know who the officer's sister is, and he also rags on him by saying it's good to be the captain. The officer kills Lorca's loyalist, and we also cut over to L'Rell beginning to work on Tyler. He reacts first by speaking Klingon, then shifting over to English, almost like she's turning a knob. English. Translation. L'Rell lets out a Klingon death scream, which was more silly than effective for me. She definitely looks silly. Like, oh, I don't know. It just looked like freaking Jackie from that 70s show. Mila Kunis as the Wicked Witch of the West in the fucking Wizard of Oz movie, which just looked really stupid to me. So L'Rell begins to let out a Klingon death scream. Stamets remembers watching Tyler kill Stamets, and they talk and they hug, and remembers holding him, and Stamets asked for things to be the way they were. And for a moment they are. This is what reminded me of the Neelix, the Matrix. This is the part that reminded me of Star Trek Generations here. The Nexus. And they have a moment, the Matrix, the Neelix, the Nexus. I just figured out how they named the Nexus. What can we do? What can we name that dear Nexus? Let's name it the Matrix. Well, there's already a script that works for that. We can't do the Matrix? How about we name it after that little cute guy that we got out there on Voyager? The Neelix. No, that doesn't work either. Oh, okay. Let's call it that anyway. So they have a moment where they brush each other's teeth. They talk about their day. Now, Cuthbert tells Stamets that Mirror Stamets is the one who corrupted the network, and the corruption will spread and destroy everything. He needs to get the fuck out of there. So Mirror Stamets wakes up in the sick bay, and Stamets wakes up on the Discovery. Mirror Stamets wakes up on his ship, and Stamets wakes up on the Discovery. Stamets immediately goes over to the Spore Forest and finds it's already sick. Dun, 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 dun. Burnham's plots to rendezvous back with Discovery. Georgina tells Burnham that Mira Lorca helped raise Burnham, and that when she was older, they became romantic. Burnham pieces everything together in a really awesome scene, the way it's done, and the way that we discover it as an audience. The people that haven't already figured this out, we discover it as she discovers it at the same time. And I love when shows do this effectively. And I thought this was done extremely well. I thought the end of this episode was a lot stronger than the rest of it, and it made up for it. I'm not going to say a poor episode, but not as good as the previous two. Excuse me. I enjoyed a lot of what happened in this episode. I'm not going to say it was shit. It wouldn't be on my lower half of my favorite episodes this season, but excuse me. The end is really what made this episode memorable. And the way it all came together, the actor's performance, Lorca's performance, as you see the shift happen, as he breaks out of his constraints and he kills the guy and talks shit about killing his sister. It's it's just a really great moment and done extremely well, well acted, well depicted on screen, well written, and a great surprise conclusion to this episode, as we find out that Lorca is in fact parallel universe Lorca. As we see Georgia sensitive to light, Lorca knew so much about the parallel universes, she realizes that her Lorca is in fact Boston accent Lorca. Dude, he's fucking Lorca. There's no coming back now, motherfuckers. So let's go into the live motherfucking chat for a few minutes here. Take a couple of questions. That's the Klingon mind meld. Muppet Klingons. 9 out of 10 dentists approve of the toothbrushing scene. Who did Kohlberg get into? How did he get into the Matrix? My question about, was that really him in the little Matrix thing in the Spore universe, or was it the fact that he saw him get killed? So that was really, it's like the Freud thing, we're all ourselves in our dream. Was that actually his conscience talking to him, telling him something he already knew, and using a device that would be most comfortable to tell him? Because again, everything I'm telling about is taking a shit. But I was gonna say, well, if someone has to tell me I took a bad shit, because in that situation, he'd want to have that moment to say goodbye or whatever. And the only person that he would listen to leave the Matrix in that situation, leave the Nexus in that situation, would be that person that he loves that tells him it's time to let go. So perhaps his own mind created what was needed in that moment. It wasn't actually his essence trapped in the Matrix thing. I think it was just his memory of him and all that whole collection thing going on. That sort of fucking shit. Muppet versus Fraggles film was going to be great. The birth of the puppet first. If that's really happening, I would love that. Muppets versus Fraggles, like an all-out war. Set up like a Team America battle movie. Maybe Stamets got him into the Matrix as he was doing it. Maybe he grabbed him and mind melded him in there somehow. I thought he was Neo. It was like a repeat of the Red Viper versus Lorca Mounted. The after show does the connect the dots. Frakes wanted to rub Canon Trek's faces in it. Oh, awesome. I haven't really watched that too much, but I do look forward to checking that out, as I saw Jonathan Frakes was on the after show this year. And I like that Jonathan Frakes is the guy that and this is the first time I'll talk about this. I'm not going to dwell on this like I did last week. I love that Frakes is the guy going to both shows right now and going, I'm working on both shows. Both shows fucking rule. Do you know why they rule? Because Jonathan Frakes is working on it. That's right. I love Jonathan Frakes. He's so unapologetically cheesy, and I being someone myself that walks that line of unapologetically cheesy, I definitely appreciate the Frakesiness of it all. Season 1B of After Treks is much better and more fast paced. I was literally hanging on Kohlberg's every other word to confirm that was Stamets' mind, not a spirit. It had to have been in his mind, like a section of his mind talking. We're not going into bizarro souls being trapped in mushroom spores. I'm not in this is where the one way I'll get this way. Not in my Star Trek, goddammit. Unless you're dealing with a Vulcan and somehow the Vulcan doctor mind melded himself into the mold, into the mushrooms. Could he have done that? Could he have mind melded himself into the mushrooms? I guess it's possible. There's mushrooms in his soul. Me too, Alex. I was thinking the same thing. It's probably that. It's probably that in me as well. There's soul in this mushroom. Soul. Oh, excuse me. Let me wake my ass up. But everybody, that's our episode of Star Trek Discovery. We have a lot more. We have 4 more episodes of Star Trek Discovery coming up. And let me take a couple more comments and questions in the live chat, and then we'll call this a live stream. I think we do have a voicemail. I don't know if this is going to be about Star Trek. Well, it's probably. Let's listen to this for a few seconds, and if it ends up being about a different show, I'll shut it off. And if caller, you meant this for a different show, I'll play it for the show that it's proper. But let's see.
Yeah, what's up, Phil? This is heads up this is for Vikings, so.
Okay, cool. This is for Vikings, so we'll play that on Wednesday night. Awesome. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Thank you for warning my fucking dumbass. So this Wednesday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that'll probably be the next time we'll be on this channel. Joe and I will be here to talk about the Vikings season finale. Then on Thursday evening, most likely, got to finalize it, but The Walking David and I will be doing Back to the Future Part 2. So if you haven't watched Back to the Future 2 in a while and you want to join The Walking David and I, we're going to be doing a recap discussion about that. Finally, Part 2 to our podcast a year and a half later, but we're finally doing it. Excuse me, to get David back on. Friday, I am going to be joining someone else on their channel, so look forward to that. I'm going to be on a little bit of an interview, so we'll see that fun. And then next week, hopefully we'll have a very special guest. I know he'll be coming on at some point soon. We just got to schedule it out, but hopefully we'll be getting two different Viking shows with two different people on it, talking about the season, taking some questions, and previewing the second half of the season. So lots of fun stuff coming in the next week or so. Hopefully you guys will be able to check it out. And if you haven't already and you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you share your thoughts about Star Trek Discovery as of right now. If you want any more Star Trek content, you can always email me at igotissuesman@gmail.com to request any other Star Trek stuff. I'm always eager to talk Trek, so if anyone has any specific episodes or arcs or whatever they'd like me to talk about, please let me know in the comment section or a private email. And you can always call in and leave a voicemail 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 781-990-8509. Thank you to everyone that subscribed. Thank you to all of our friends that popped on in tonight to enjoy the live show. You guys are fucking amazing, as always. Even the ones that don't watch Star Trek Discovery, I know a few people pop on in and say hi, even though this isn't necessarily their show. By we, I mean the multiple personalities in my mind, really do appreciate it all. Really do appreciate it. What the kind of voice is this, you dumb fuck? And don't forget that room watch along. That's gonna happen at some point. I gotta get a good team together to do that live. So the subscribe button is covering the last 4 digits of the phone number. Do you know what I got to do? I need to make a new subscribe button or move my phone number to the other side of the thing, because I've noticed that too, Ian. So remind my dumb ass to do that, or you don't have to remind my ass. I'll remember to do that. But yes, so hit that fucking subscribe button. See, that's the ticket. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing the right location. Talk to you guys next time. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Groovy stamming every time.